welcome. This is Ascal Terry Henry, man, and we on the podcast, the Godcast show, man. This is our media channel where we talk about a lot of issues and we talk about a lot of things. And today's topic, I got my Twitch people on. Y'all need to subscribe to our Twitch. You need to subscribe to our YouTube channel because I talk about a lot of things, different things on different channels. Subscribe to all of them so you don't miss anything. We're going to be giving away gifts again because we always say drop your handle, your social media handle in the comment section. We're answering questions live, so don't hesitate to call in. We can talk about whatever we need to talk about because I charge $100 for consultation. So it's the best time to call in and ask questions because it's free. I can answer them why they're free, but reason why you need to go into it. Reason why you need a trust fund is to protect your assets. Protect your assets. You say, Mr. Henry, what is an asset? Everything that you own is an asset. That's why Trump says to own nothing and to control everything. Own nothing and control everything because everything you have is an asset. Your children are assets. Do you know that every year, a lot of y'all don't even know, but every year you can write off your children. You can write off to $3,800 a year for your little kids. We're talking about your 5-year-old son, your 3-year-old daughter. You can write that off that you paid them every year. You know how you pay chores for washing dishes and mopping the floors and all that? You can legally write that off on them every year on your 2-year-old. People don't know that. In your trust. Everything about a trust, you don't even know how powerful a trust is. You can write that off. You can write off everything. The clothes you buying for school, the pencil sharpener, the eraser, the tennis shoes. When you went to Chuck E. Cheese, that was a field trip. Everything about this trust is taxable, and you get it back. Not only did I not pay taxes, but I also got back $28,000 from my write-offs last year in January. So not only did I not pay taxes, once again, but I also got back $28,000 from my trust. So we need to understand that. We're gonna go into this commercial break, but I'm gonna break down this whole thing for you on why you need a trust and why they kept it from the black man.
A Terry Henry Foundation repair company, now servicing Texas and Louisiana.
This just in, a Little People construction and foundation repair company is taking Texas and Louisiana by storm.
Yes, you're right, Tom. Andrew here with Channel 7 and Al's Crudos et al. From foundation repair to trash pickup, they even do construction. I even like the little jingle. So call
Terry Henry Foundation Repair. Call us today.
Welcome, man. You need to get in my network. You need to get in my network. I got so many people calling, so many people contacting me. You need to get in my network. I'm only charging $500, man, and that's for you to be a part of my network, man. We're going to market you. We're going to get you a commercial. We're going to do the whole 9 yards for you to be on my network. That's going to be featured on the Godcast podcast, and also you're going to be on my Instagram for $500. Now, that's a cheap deal. You know how it go. We're going to get you a lot of business, man. We're going to make a lot of money together. You got $1,000, we'll put you on all our platforms, which is over 700,000 people. Holler at us, man. Let's do business. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Whenever you got anything, first of all, I love what they said. You know, and this is not a racist thing at all. This is just an informational thing. So I don't want you to take it because I said why they kept it from black people. No, it's just an informational thing. It was said that if you put it in a book, we wasn't going to learn it anyway. So a lot of stuff that was put into books has been there. It's been information. It was not hidden. We just didn't go and achieve the knowledge. We didn't go looking for the knowledge to get it. So with that being said, trust funds, even today, it's funny because I build trust. I set it up. I design them. We're talking about 60 pages, 100 pages, 140 pages. Trust funds for protection. If your car is in a trust, they can't take your car. I don't care if you don't pay your note. Now, you won't get a title for that car because, remember, you're going to have to sign off all kind of other papers to go and apply for titles. But they can't take that car because that car is owned by a trust fund. And so in the process of that, you can go to the DMV, you can get trust fund license plates and the whole 9 yards that will not read back to nobody. There's 3 things they have to do in order to repo your car. They have to validate that car, meaning that they have to validate that it has a license plate. The license plate have to match. Okay, if the license plate do not match, then they go for a tracker. They have a tracker in your car, and they try to pull it up by a tracker. If the tracker has been taken out of the car, then the last thing they do, they go for your VIN number. If they can't verify your VIN number, they can't verify your license plate, and they don't have a tracker in that car, they cannot take that car. That is highly illegal, and they will be sued to death. So those 3 things they have to do to take a car. So with that being said, you cover up your VIN number with some paper. You get your new license plate, which is a trust fund license plate, under a trust, which they can't pull. Nobody can pull a trust plate. Cop may stop you and ask for your registration information, but a trust plate is exactly what it is. It's a secret plate. That's for your trust fund. It's for your family. It doesn't come back to a person or a name. It comes back to an entity, which means it's a trust. It's a trust fund. So you begin to set your life up. Your house, same thing. You go into your house, you put your house into a trust fund. We build you a trust fund. We put your house in a trust fund. Then you have to get what's called your house transferred over into the trust fund. You have to transfer your house over into the trust fund, which means that you have to contact the mortgage company, whoever you're paying, the finance company, the bank, whoever. You contact them, let them know that this house has been registered into a trust fund, a 508c1a trust. It's been registered into a trust fund, and they're going to give you special documents from the finance company, the bank, whoever, which you got to sign and notarize and all that. You're going to turn that in. I done it for 2 houses already. You turn that in, and then they're going to transfer the deed from your name to the trust fund property, which means now take that to the tax assessor's office and no taxes. That's what it means, because the trust fund is a spiritual trust fund, which means that it's owned by the church. I'm the church, not the building. The building that we have is not a church. That's a temple. That's a place that you go to worship God in. That's a building that you go and kneel and pray and whatever. That's not the temple of God. What the Bible says is the body. When they say we'll destroy the temple and I'll raise it up in 3 days, he was speaking about the body. There's no building in the world that you're going to tear down and then they're going to raise that building back up in 3 days, unless you're talking about a shed in your backyard. So, so we definitely need to understand who we are. And I think the problem when it comes to trust is that we don't really understand who we are in Christ Jesus. We don't really understand. We just say we know him. We love to say I'm blessed and highly favored. We say all these things, but we really don't know who we are and the power that we possess. He says that you will yield this land, everything about this land. He said, if that's your father, right? You said that's your father. It says, my father have a cattle on 1,000 hills. He has streets of gold, gates of pearls, and all these things. He said, I've never seen the righteous forsaken or his seed begging for bread. Now, if this is your God, your father, your master, your savior, and you are a child of the Most High, then how come you're not acting like it? How come you're not living off the land, living off the proceeds? We know that it may take time to buy you some acreage and do all. We understand that. It takes time. But the first thing you need to do, get your trust. Many will ask me, well, don't I have to own something to have a trust? No. Buy your trust, get your trust started, have your trust in place. Now, when I go to buy a house, I can buy it through my trust. Do you know you can go to the bank and they will give you $50,000 with a trust fund without no PG, no personal guarantee? I did a video this morning on my Instagram where I showed you a credit card. It took me 4 months, but I showed you a credit card for $100,000 through my trust. Y'all better understand, we need a trust. If you don't have a trust, you need it.
A Terry Henry Foundation Repair Company, now servicing Texas and Louisiana.
This just in, a Little People construction and foundation repair company is taking Texas and Louisiana by storm.
Yes, you're right, Tom. Andrew here with Channel 7 and Al's Crudos et al. From foundation repair to trash pickup, they even do construction. I even like the little jingle. So call
Terry Henry Foundation Repair. Call us today.
Welcome, baby. This is ASCAL Terry Henry, man, and this is what we're going to do, man. Y'all need to tune into my podcast every Monday and Friday, man, at 7:55 p.m. Every Monday and Friday, 7:55 p.m. Man, we're going to have gifts for y'all, man. I need y'all to tune in. I need you to drop your handle in the podcast, man. I need you to stay there the whole time. I'm going to be checking. Stay there the whole time because I'll be commenting and answering. And then you also need to put your name in there so I can contact you. False Preacher Killer in the podcast. I have it on the description. Check us out. And the reason why all these mega churches have trust, because they're invincible. Tell me when you've seen a mega church close. T.D. Jakes been around since I was young. And he didn't do nothing but get bigger, 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 and invincible. Now he's shooting movies and making books. And this is no hate on none of these preachers. I'm letting you know these dudes are phenomenally smart. These are not average people. They are phenomenally smart. They are tied in with lawyers and bankers and investors and stockbrokers that's giving them the game. These preachers, I can tell you right now, T.D. Jakes, because we looked him up and did a research a while back, because I think he's a mega businessman, along with this guy named Ivy Elliott. He's right here in Houston. These are not, they may have scandals and stuff, but these are not regular. These guys are off the chain. You know, T.D. Jakes own over 400 houses. 400 rent houses. These guys done got to the point, they may have stole from the church. People say they ain't doing but taking tithes and offering. They may have done all that. But the bottom line is, it is not easy to just continue to keep money. I deal with people every day who make money. I got a guy who made $80,000, and in 3 months he was broke. He went and bought him an excursion, put music in it, rims, put new wood floors in a studio in a rental house. Stupid. So we deal with people every single day who blow through money. Some of you all probably done blew through money. So everybody don't know what to do with money. We used to do funding, okay? Got a lady $400,000, and a guy got $880,000. This was last year. Make a long story short, last year, $880,000. This year, spoke to them 3 months ago, broke. Everybody in the family, you got to buy a sister a car. You got to buy a brother a car. You want to pay for grandma's house to be remodeled. You got to do that. You got to buy your jewelry. For those who wear, I don't wear jewelry, but those who, you got to buy your AP or a Rolex watch. That's 10 bands. Then you got to buy you some diamonds. Then you got to buy you a purse. And for your females, you got to show off a little bit. You're going to take you a couple of cruises and vacations. So people that don't know about money, they blow through money. Getting money is not the hard part. I tell people this all the time. I can show you how to get money. Getting the money, waiting to say 3-4 months, I organize your life. Getting the money is not the hard part. Keeping the money is the hard part. The hardest thing about money is keeping it. So you can go out there, I can fix your credit. Boom. Now you got good credit. You may have added a trade line on there, and you got just say an age company. You've been in business 5 years. Bam, you can go get you $250,000. Your personal credit good. You got a age corporation. You're doing decent. You ain't the best, but you're doing decent. They'll give you money. The problem is not getting the money. The problem is what to do with it when you get it. So now, same thing with the trust funds. Okay, let's go back to that. You got to trust. I done set you up with a trust to not pay taxes, okay? Certain things you cannot do with this trust fund, okay? You're not going to open up anything dealing with a weed business, because a lot of people doing the hemp business and all this stuff. You're not doing nothing dealing with drugs and nothing dealing with no liquor. You're not going to open no liquor stores. Even if you open a corner store, you cannot sell liquor. This is the church. The 508c1a is a spiritual trust. It is founded on spiritual principles, spiritual laws, spiritual bylaws. You can't go do that. We're not opening up no strip clubs. You're not doing nothing where you're selling some lottery tickets or some scratch-offs. But I tell you, nothing dealing with sin. Nothing dealing with sin. I know a lot of us love sin, but you can't add this type of business to a trust. They want to adhere to it. You're going to violate your trust. And next thing you know, you'll be sued, because you cannot do that with a spiritual trust. You want to do that? Open you up a 501c3. That's a regular nonprofit. They give you 60%. You ain't got to worry about taxes, but you're still responsible for 40%. So somebody asked me, do I only set up spiritual trust? No, I set up all kinds of trusts. I set up any type of trust you want. I master spiritual trust, because if you go on the IRS website, That's the only trust that you don't have to even file taxes. I own two 508s. I don't have to file taxes, period. But I do file taxes on my personal businesses. So that's why. Let me explain to you right quick before we go to commercial break. How it go, okay? I have several businesses. Y'all know that, okay? Now, my businesses make money. For the person who asked about the holding company, my businesses make money, okay? The holding company sits in the middle, okay? Now, the holding company is in the middle, and the holding company is going to invoice each company. Say this business A made $5,000 this week. Business B made $5,000. Business C made $5,000, okay? The holding company is going to invoice business A for $5,000. Why? The holding company is going to invoice to take all the money from business A, because what the holding company is doing all my marketing, all my trajectory, all my payroll, all my advertisement. So it's invoicing this company, all of that, which means it's bringing this company back down to zero, okay? Same thing with company C, same thing with company B. So now these companies, we own everything. I mean, we own nothing because we broke, but we control everything. The holding company got all that money. The holding company now that invoiced all that money from these companies, and it sits in the holding company. Now, what the holding company is going to do is it's going to donate all that money to my trust fund. Okay? Businesses are broke. Holding company is broke. Trust fund don't pay taxes. And I can go deep into that. But what I want to say, we get ready to go on a commercial break, and we're going to talk about it when I come back. Y'all too.
A Terry Henry Foundation repair company, now servicing Texas and Louisiana.
This just in, a Little People construction and foundation repair company is taking Texas and Louisiana by storm.
Yes, you're right, Tom. Andrew here with Channel 7 and Al's Crudos et al. From foundation repair to trash pickup, they even do construction. I even like the little jingle. So call
Terry Henry Foundation Repair. Call us today.
Welcome, man. You need to get in my network. You need to get in my network. I got so many people calling, so many people contacting me. You need to get in my network. I'm only charging $500, man, and that's for you to be a part of my network, man. We're going to market you. We're going to get you a commercial. We're going to do the whole 9 yards for you to be on my network. That's going to be featured on the Godcast podcast, and also you're going to be on my Instagram for $500. Now, that's a cheap deal. You know how it go. We're going to get you a lot of business, man. We're going to make a lot of money together. You got $1,000, we'll put you on all our platforms, which is over 700,000 people. Holler at us, man. Let's do business. Good. So the thing about this, the trust, you need a trust, and we've been answering a lot of questions in the chats and everything. You need a trust. You need a trust. It's not an if and or but. The difference. Okay, let me break down the difference. I got 3 ladies coming down on Wednesday. They're scheduling an appointment, paid their deposit, and all that. They're coming down on Wednesday from New Orleans to get 3 trusts. You need a trust. 3 black ladies, okay? They was just in talks with an attorney trying to charge them $7,500 for a will. A will is garbage. Let me tell you something. You can go get your will and testament. And we have, right now, as I speak, because they don't listen to me. Of course, family don't want to listen. But my auntie died. They had them a will. It's been 4 years now that they've been arguing over some land and some houses and some money that she had. 4 years. Now remember, over the course of them 4 years, she had about $340,000 in the bank, right? Okay. Out of that money, they've been paying that attorney. Out of that money, they've been paying the taxes on the properties and the houses. Out of that money, they've been cutting the grass. Out of that money, yeah, because that's how it go with probate from a will. A trust don't do probate. You have absolutely no probate with a trust. That trust is like the 10 Commandments written on tablets of stone. When I do my trust, if I say in my trust, and I'm dead and gone, if I say in my trust that I'm leaving my wife $10,000 a month, but if she decides to be remarried, then the Negro that she married, or the white man, or the polka dot man, or whatever, it's his responsibility to take care of that woman. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that $10,000 that she get a month, I'm taking it from her because I'm not taking care of another man, and that money gonna be distributed to my kids. Now, that's the power of a trust. Now, in a probate, they can fight that. That's why that Anna Nicole, when she married that billionaire, and her kid and the kids of that man came back and sued her and took it from her. It ain't happening in a trust fund. When I set that trust up, when I tell you it's like tablets of stone, it's like tablets of stone. If you want Lil Pookie down the street to have your 62 Chevette, then guess what? Your family ain't gonna better do nothing about it because you said you wanted him to have your 62 Chevette. And the family mad, well, he smoked crack and he don't do nothing. He ain't gonna do, Pop. I know Pop was crazy. Well, whatever. When you set that trust up, you wasn't crazy. And that trust is gonna stand. So that's the difference between a trust and a will. Don't let a lawyer talk you into a trust and a will. Okay, let me get to something a little more deeper than that because I get a lot of questions because I set a lot of trust up every day. Okay, people are asking, should I get a revocable trust? Attorneys set up revocable trust. Do you know why? Why they set up a revocable trust? I don't do revocable trust. I do all irrevocable trust because when it's set up, it's etched in stone. There ain't no changing it. Now, you as the trustee can go in and make changes to it, but nobody else. But I'm explaining to you coming up why attorneys do revocable and not irrevocable.
A Terry Henry Foundation repair company, now servicing Texas and Louisiana.
This just in, a Little People construction and foundation repair company is taking Texas and Louisiana by storm.
Yes, you're right, Tom. Andrew here with Channel 7 and Al's Crudos et al. From foundation repair to trash pickup, they even do construction. I even like the little jingle. So call
Terry Henry Foundation Repair. Call us today.
Welcome, man. You need to get in my network. You need to get in my network. I got so many people calling, so many people contacting me. You need to get in my network. I'm only charging $500, man, and that's for you to be a part of my network, man. We're going to market you. We're going to get you a commercial. We're going to do the whole 9 yards for you to be on my network. That's going to be featured on the Godcast podcast, and also you're going to be on my Instagram for $500. Now, that's a cheap deal. You know how it go. We're going to get you a lot of business, man. We're going to make a lot of money together. You got $1,000, we'll put you on all our platforms, which is over 700,000 people. Holler at us, man. Let's do business. So the reason why attorneys speak so highly about revocable trust, because that's what I'm telling you, I know, I've been doing this for so many years, they can change it. Got to remember, attorneys said, this is what attorneys do. And I know attorneys going to be so mad at me, but I don't care because they the biggest crooks in the world, man. And I done dealt with them for years. And I still deal with them, but on a different level. But what they do is they set up a revocable trust that they have the power to. They have power of attorney. That's why when somebody died and the person who set that trust up, the attorneys call you in the office. They have the family there. Y'all got to sign off on this, agree to this. You know, they put y'all in there and then they read you your will and testament, you know, all your trust and all that. It goes through the attorney. Well, me personally, I don't like a revocable trust because it can be changed and you won't even know it's changed. For instance, I got the crookedest family members in the planet Earth. And some stuff has happened recently, which they're getting sued for, where they didn't sign names off and all because they were friends with the attorney. So when you're dealing with wills and revocable trust, you don't have a copy of the trust. Your auntie died, your mama died, your daddy died. You ain't got a copy of the trust. The trustee that's in charge of that trust and the attorney got a copy of that trust. Sometimes the trustees that's not even in charge of the trust, like the grantor or whoever, the trust protector, they don't have a copy of it. The person who set it up, they had all the money and the property, the jewels and all that, and the attorney have that trust. So the attorney now takes that trust, he'll make some corrections to it, and he'll refile it, and then he'll call the family in. Now, when he originally set it up, mama or grandpa told him, okay, for you holding this trust for us, we know it's a retainer, we know this and that, but for you holding it, we're going to give you 8%. 8% of all this, whatever we got, goes to the attorney to make sure everything is done. Well, attorneys are so greedy. Papa dead now. They are attorneys. They are crooks. They hurry up and go. They make their changes in their system because remember, they the ones created it. Just like I got them in my system, they created it. So they create this trust. It's in their system. They go make their changes. So now instead of the 8%, they getting 28%. They getting 38%. 38% going to the law firm. Now you looking at them crazy like, why in the world would Grandpa give you 38% of our money? Well, he wanted me to take care. I did a lot of things for him that y'all didn't know about. You're lying. You didn't do nothing for him. You set up a trust. So they set up these revocable trusts so they can be changed. I set up irrevocable trusts. I don't have access to it. I'm not your trust protector. I don't need to have a copy of it. I set your trust up. I tell you what to do with it. You need to hold your trust in a security vault at your bank or whatever. We have ours. We have copies at the bank. We have copies. We registered it with the courthouse. So if the house catch on fire and we lose that copy, or I'm dead and they don't know what bank to go with, which they'll know, of course, but I'm just using for example, then we's at the courthouse. Go to the courthouse. It's been registered with the courthouse. Okay, cool. You don't know what courthouse? Go to the Secretary of State of that state. It's been registered with the Secretary of State. Just like I registered my LLCs and my INCs, my trust is registered with the state. Okay, you got a problem with that? My trust's been registered with the post office. So all of these things, so if you come with some false trust, say this is Paw Trust, okay, well, we're going to compare it to all the places that he registered his trust at. It ain't no playing with no trust now. A trust can get you put in prison. A will you can play with. A revocable trust you can play with and do some things and do some shady things and steal from Grandpa. They have people call me all the time that's doing trust right now. And I know they shady, don't get me wrong, but that's your business. My job is not to judge you. My job is to form your trust. You pay me to do something, I'm doing your trust. But when I say that, they called me up. One guy called me up. He was like, man, my grandma want a trust. And she want to make me the beneficiary of over the trust. She got a lot of grandkids, but she want me in charge. I already know what he's doing. He's trying to secure his position because grandma about to check out, and he want to make sure he in charge so he can steal everything. But that's his business. If grandma, she's competent because I talked to her. If grandma's dumb enough to do that, that's her business. But that grandson is going to take everything from the other kids. I hope she know that because he has the power of attorney. He's not just a trust protector. He's not just a co-trustee, but he's also have the power of attorney that she gave him. So when she died, you can make sure that things get done according to her will and her wishes when it's really going to be his will and his wishes.
A Terry Henry Foundation repair company, now servicing Texas and Louisiana.
This just in, a Little People construction and foundation repair company is taking Texas and Louisiana by storm.
Yes, you're right, Tom. Andrew here with Channel 7 and Al's Crudos et al. From foundation repair to trash pickup, they even do construction. I even like the little jingle. So call
Terry Henry Foundation Repair. Call us today.
Welcome, man. You need to get in my network. You need to get in my network. I got so many people calling, so many people contacting me. You need to get in my network. I'm only charging $500, man, and that's for you to be a part of my network, man. We're going to market you. We're going to get you a commercial. We're going to do the whole 9 yards for you to be on my network. That's going to be featured on the Godcast podcast, and also you're going to be on my Instagram for $500. Now, that's a cheap deal. You know how it go. We're going to get you a lot of business, man. We're going to make a lot of money together. You got $1,000, we'll put you on all our platforms, which is over 700,000 people. Holler at us, man. Let's do business. So I want to say this. Be extremely, extremely, extremely careful at buying trust from anybody. I'm not saying you got to just come to me. There's several people that do trust, but be careful at who you buy trust from. There's a lady that I signed up, I think it was on Monday. What's today, Saturday? I think it was on Monday. I signed up. She paid $5,000 for somebody to do a trust. Got the trust and can't even do nothing with it. Couldn't do nothing with it because the trust was inaccurate. It was not right. The banks are not dumb. You go to the bank, they're going to turn you around. You got to have the right EIN number because you can't just go in there and get an EIN number like a regular business. You have to go through the back door. I got to show you how to go through the back door to get that trust EIN number. It ain't no regular. Like when you type on it on trust and you see it's going to say trust. That is not for a 508 and a 501c3. That's a whole different type of trust. And let me say this, you got all types of trust. You got land trust, you got foreign trust, you got domesticated trust. Man, they got Ethiopic trust, which is an Ethiopian trust. You got so many trusts. It probably got 900 trusts, man. They got so many trusts that you can have. The 508 is the greatest trust because it's a spiritual trust. But they got all kind of trust. They got people that build trust just for their land, nothing else, just their land. And they put all their land and all their homes in a trust. You got an automotive trust. That's what the dealerships have, where their cars and everything is in their trust. All the VIN numbers and everything is in that trust. I mean, it's so many different trusts that they have. You know, you got to understand. So before we close out, I want to say, be careful who you buy a trust from. She bought that trust for $5,000. She had to come back and pay me $3,500 just for that trust. So be careful for me to redo her trust. Better yet, she bought a $5,000 trust with 18 pages. An 18-page, $5,000 trust. That's crazy. So I had to redo her trust, which wound up being like 87 pages for $3,500. So because she had a good bit of stuff. So the thing is, be careful who you buy a trust from. Don't just go and try to just do anything. It's kind of like working on a car. You're going to just go and start taking apart stuff on a Rolls Royce. You don't even know about the first thing. You know, these parts cost $3,500 and $10,000 just for the brake job. If you don't know what you're doing, leave it alone and stick to what you know. So before we close out, man, like I said, we got to pay bills. So look at the commercials. You know, we got people on the last that's sponsoring us. You can feel free to sponsor the show. You know, we do a lot for the public and the community, where we give to people. We help the homeless. We feed the homeless, which I'll be doing tomorrow, which is a Sunday. We feed the homeless. We're baptizing people. We're doing all these things. We need 2 or more people on the Twitch ads too. We need 2 or more minutes on the Twitch ads. So y'all stay on Twitch, because we're not getting off right now. But I'm saying that to say, if y'all want to donate, tap in, donate. This is to feed the homeless. Some of y'all ain't paying tithes and offering in no church. So hey, this is your tithes and offering. Give to the people that's doing. We actually on the grounds, boots on the ground, feeding the homeless. We got the trailer. If you look at my page, you'll see we'll be baptizing people this week. The trailer is about done. He called me and said it should be done by tomorrow, Monday. So we'll be out there in the hood, baptizing the little YNs and praying them through right there on the street corners and the whole 9 yards, man. So let's y'all tune in. Like I say, feel free to donate. Do whatever you got to do. Tap in. That's all I can say. Tap in. Email us, text us, inbox us, whatever you need to do. But I love y'all, man, and I'll holler at y'all next time.